Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Always pay attention to the mass media and politicians when they want to convey something to you. They rarely tell you straight and what exactly they want to convey or what opinion they would like to change in your head and your heart. And they usually don't start with telling you exactly how it is or where they want to reach, being sometimes too far-fetched, and you would reject that. So they start with my little theory of mountain slope theory, where at the end is the person with the bullhorn telling you the naughty idea they want you to have and follow, but they can't tell you that because you're not prepared yet, you're not ready. So they get you ready by starting slow with a little hint. First they talk about an issue, and then they go to issue, they bring it closer to you, then they start hinting the action that needs to be taken, and then go further and further until at the end they will tell you that. So they get you in about a week or two ready with the issue of whatever they want to reach, where they want to get you. In this case, they try to convey to you that Ukraine needs more weapons because they're very successful in their attack, and they can't really tell you what kind of weapons, but we know that Ukraine said that they need any kind of weapons and they will use any kind of weapons. Any kind means any kind, so you can imagine that they didn't have any problems with nuclear weapons or with chemical weapons, because that's included in any kind. And I made a video on that with a direct quote from the individual. Now we have here an article from Ukrainska Pravda. It's always good to know what those guys are saying, because you can look at other sources, and not only look at other sources and verify, because it's not necessarily the other sources are telling the truth. You have to verify those too. But sometimes these guys say certain things that are so naughty, so unreal, that even a child could say, really? Let me get back to you about that one. And that tells you, where could the situation, how the situation can roll. So here is an article from Ukrainska Pravda from September 11, Sunday, 2022. Russian long-range bombers hit Ukraine with X-22 missiles. Now, as of now, these bombers take off somewhere either from Russia or they go over the Belarusian territory, release their missiles and then turn around, or they come from the Caspian Sea area, go around and release it. They do not come over the Ukrainian territory, as far as I know. And the Ukrainians are very frustrated. So the whole article, in my opinion, is made not to tell us how great the long-range Russian bombers are, not that they release X-22 missiles. Russian long-range bombers hit Ukraine with X-22 missiles. It's not because of that. It's because Ukraine says, you see, those guys are causing a lot of damage, which is true, and we need weapons to hit them. So that's a hint, big hint, that they want something they can hit those bombers wherever they are. That's my take on that, and that's my right to have this assessment based on whatever I know and how these guys function. The Russians have launched a long-range missile attack on Ukraine on Sunday, September 11, with details being confirmed. Yuri Ikhnat, spokesman for the Ukrainian Air Forces during the national 24/7 joint newscast. Quote from Ikhnat: Russian aircraft have been active. Tu-22 M3 long-range bombers, which first struck from the north of the country, apparently with X-22 missiles, then flew to the area of the occupied peninsula and reportedly attacked the southern regions of our country from the area of Cape Tarkhankut. So there is some information that there were explosions, but this needs confirmation because it was literally minutes ago. We remind everyone once again that the threat of missile strike has not gone away. That's where they start building the final thing. The fact that our soldiers are liberating, that's a good thing. The land is good news, yes, but it's far from victory. The enemy will keep on terrorizing us with missile attacks. So, okay, they say we are fighting these invaders, they are terrorizing us, we are still able because of your weapons. They didn't say that, I say that. Unfortunately, and this is the key, the whole article was done for this last paragraph. Unfortunately, we do not have yet means to get our hands on these aircraft. What does that mean? Long-range Russian bombers, but I'm convinced that we will, and then we will breathe a little easier. Okay, so I think this, and that's the end of the article. So they will, they basically say, and which is, you know, I understand that in a war you want any kind of weapons in order to destroy the enemy's, you know, means of attacking you. But if they don't have the means, who do you think is going to provide the means? The Ukrainian scientists that are not working at this moment to create a new weapon capable of destroying that, they would take years, and not years, maybe tens of years to create that on your own. So why not buy it from someone else, or borrow it, or ask them to come and do it for you? And that's exactly what's going to happen. I have a 99% certainty that that's basically what they want, and you can't blame them. The problem is, what are you going to do then? You're going to hit them, you're going to do the same thing as you did with Moskva, right? The warship in Black Sea. You're going to sink it, you're going to destroy one of these bombers, and then the Russians will stop doing that. Will they increase their attacks using something else? I don't know, but this is basically what it says. We are hit, we need weapons, give it to us. And if they get them, remember, all the weapons Ukraine receives now, all the weapons gets under whatever loan, sold, aid, all these things could be turned around in other directions, unless you really think that these guys are under your control. And to give you an example, you might say, hey, Emil, that's a little far-fetched scenario, but I don't think so, because we're dealing with the same kind of things here, human beings. Remember the ISIS, even remember what's his name, Bin Laden. Bin Laden was a mujahideen in a fight against Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. And who supported the mujahideens? United States of America. Gave them weapons, and then what happened? They turned the weapons against who? So you see, that's only one example. There are some other examples when you give weapons to certain kind of groups, and then the certain kind of groups decide to follow their agenda, not your agenda anymore, and you have to fight them with your own weapons that you gave them. So you're going to fight against your own weapons. It's true that you didn't give them the highest, and they can replenish that, but they have a head start nevertheless. So you made it harder. Like, for instance, right now, from what I heard, right, from what happens with Afghanistan, the United States left over there billions of dollars of I want to say material, but weapons in the Taliban. Some people say, well, they were disabled and this and that, but some of them were not. So you gave them a head start for nothing. And then you didn't leave them over there to your friends this time. You left it straight to the guys that you knew that they are not your friends, unless maybe they are, and we don't know yet. So yes, these guys want missiles, and remember, if you think that these weapons that now are shipped to Ukraine are really secure in the serious, fair man, using them, and they will not be proliferated in the area to different groups and different interests, I think you're just kidding yourself. I don't think that's I think a lot of weapons are just going to be sold on the black market, and they will end up in other people's hands that should not have them, and then you got a mess on your hand, and then everything is going to be pointed out to Russia. Well, the United States will provide them with what they need to hit those long-range bombers. I guarantee you, unless they start negotiating for peace with Russia, which the United States and some European Union allies, they say recommend that, but Biden said you need to start negotiating with Putin when Blinken visited Kiev 2 days ago or so. And I covered that in the previous video a few minutes ago. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.